Hello everyone, True Zero Emissions here. We're at Griffith Park. I'm going very slow, walking speed, and trying not to kick up any dust, trying to go slow, not to startle people, and also trying not to crash, trying to keep my balance. This is a very steep hill. I don't know if you could see it in the camera. The camera doesn't usually show how steep the terrain is, but this is very steep. I imagine this hill alone right here to just totally eat up brake pads on a bicycle or scooter if they were not using regenerative braking, which is allowing the electric motor to be a brake and put a little bit of energy back in the battery, but that's not the main thing it's doing. The main thing it's doing is saving your brake pads. So think regenerative braking, think saving brake pads and saving money, because brake pads add up, right? That's an expense that adds up quickly. I've heard of people burning up the brake pads every week or 2 weeks that ride every day. So imagine changing your brake pads every week or two, right? Now you can buy brake pads in bulk. You can get like a bag of them, but it's still, I want to say throwing money away if there's a choice, and especially when that choice is a more efficient and more effective braking system. Because you imagine these little brake pads, itty bitty little brake pads that are stopping the scooter, electric bicycle or electric bike or mountain bike or whatever it is, and then you compare it to that big electric motor, the hub motor, right? That when you, there's different kind of systems. My favorite one is when you let off the accelerator, and as you let off, it slows down. The other one is you let off the accelerator, and when you touch the brake, the more you pull the brake is the more the regenerative braking engages. The other one is, there's different kinds, right? The other one is, it's more like an on and off switch, where when you pull the brake lever and your brake light comes on, like the moment you see that brake light come on, that engages the electric brake, and it just kicks in like full power, right? It's not progressive, I think is the word. It doesn't stop more and more as you pull it more and more. Now, if you pull it really hard, you're still going to have your regular brake pads being used. But when you have the electric brakes engaged, the regenerative braking set, like let's say you have a Dualtron Storm Limited or any of the Dualtron scooters, the Dualtron Storm Limited, the Dualtron Thunder 1, 2, and 3, those different models, they have a really strong regenerative braking. Both wheels are, both motors act as a braking system. And my brakes, after months of riding, right, hundreds of miles, even thousands of miles, my brakes were still like brand new because I just didn't use the brakes. James was talking about his Cybertruck and said that if he uses just the regenerative braking, I'm calling it, which is just the electric brakes, and doesn't push real hard on the pedal to make the physical brakes, I'll call them, engage, that the braking system can last a very, very long time. I forgot how long. I don't know if it's 100,000 miles or what it is. Okay, can I turn left? I did. But it's a lot of miles, right? It's a lot of miles. So this is a steep hill. I don't know if I'm going down the same. Oh, that's really steep. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Hope I don't crash right now. Oh gosh, that was steep. And I'm not sure I can go up that. Let me see. Let me look back at it. Oh, I think I can go up it. It might be fun to go up it. Yeah, I was wondering if I went up this path before, but after going down that steep part, I don't think I went here yet today. Okay, I'm moving my feet back. I wasn't really ready for that. My feet weren't moved back, and it was really hard to make the unicycle slow down, which is an electric brake. By the way, the electric unicycle only has electric brake, which is the best brake, right? Electric brake is the best. It doesn't burn up your brake pads, which is a maintenance item, right? And it's big. Imagine a brake pad that big. And I'm going to say a friction brake pad that just makes heat. That's all it does, right? When it pushes against the disc, it makes heat, and it makes the powder of, it's turning that pad into a powder that goes into the air, and a lot of the pads, at least for automobiles that are imported, have asbestos in them. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they were for a long time. If you look into it, you can find out pretty quickly if asbestos is still in imported brake pads. And I would look at more than one source. I would keep looking, right? Because you have to compare many, many sources. And even make some phone calls and find out, you know, is this accurate? Is this what's happening right now? Is this real? So if we have stopped allowing asbestos to be imported in the brake pads, when did that start? You know, how did that happen? And those are things I would be curious about, because that's significant, because asbestos is so bad for us, right? We don't need asbestos floating around in the air to be breathing, you know, getting in our eyes, getting in our nose, getting in our lungs, in our brain, in our breathing tract. We should never have that stuff in the air. We used to use asbestos in this country, and then they outlawed it, but they didn't outlaw the importing of the brake pads with asbestos. So people are like, oh, look how they got around it. I mean, that, to me, that is not something to be happy about. If they're outlawing the brake pads, right, if they're outlawing the, I don't know where I am right now. If they're outlawing asbestos to be used in brake pads and domestic brake pads, right, which is local, like with this brake pads that are manufactured here in the United States of America, right, then why would we allow, how could it be that we would allow asbestos to be used in brake pads that are imported? It makes absolutely no sense to me at all. Okay, now why am I talking about this? It's something I think about. All right, this channel is my journal. Okay, true zero emissions. How do we keep the air clean? How do we stop polluting? How do we stop wasting? And how do we maximize efficiency? And also, how do we maximize solution-oriented worldwide collaboration? How do we maximize that? Right? Just know that every person counts. Every person makes a difference. And never give up, right? Okay, let's see what's over here. Now I see, like, sometimes I see like a thin trail. I don't know if I could make it up one of those. I don't know if that's just too narrow and too steep, and I mean, that almost looks like a coyote trail. I want to take like just regular road trails. See, I could already see I'll pedal clip on that. On the side right there. Look at how steep that trail is. Okay, I don't remember if I started the new video right now or if I just talked about it and then didn't do it. Just in case, I'm going to stop this one and we'll be back in a moment, because it's safer to have lots of little videos than one big one that I could potentially lose because it's not uploading correctly because of my internet. Okay, everyone, see you soon in a few seconds. Stop recording.